Good morning and happy New Year's. Nusa, did you make a resolution? How long are you going to keep it for? Studies tell us that most resolutions are broken within a month or even less, within a week, within a few days. People make resolutions, they make commitments. They're going to go to the gym, they're going to eat healthier, they're going to be kinder, they're going to listen, they're going to stop speaking badly about other people, and then they never keep it. It goes through a few days, a week. It's like the story about the guy who says, I went to gym almost every day this week. I almost went on Sunday, I almost went on Monday, almost Tuesday, almost Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, but he didn't go once. And the question is, why don't people keep their resolutions? And I was thinking that maybe some of it is because people tend to think that the resolutions are insignificant. What difference is it going to make in my life? And how much more so, what difference is it going to make in the world? In a world of 6-7 billion people, there's so much happening, so much going on. There's wars across the world. There's financial crisis. There's economy. There's impeachment. There's elections. And me, a little schmo, Joe Schmo, insignificant person, is going to make a resolution. What difference is it going to be? But in this week's Torah portion, we learn a little different. Because in this week's Torah portion, the Torah tells us about the birth of Moses. And the Torah uses a very enigmatic way to tell us about it. The Torah says, and a man from the house of Levi, Vayelech ish mibeis Levi, a man from the house of Levi went, and he took a woman from the house of Levi, and they gave birth to a baby. But why doesn't the Torah tell us their names? Their names were Amram and Yocheved, the parents of Moses. The only way we know that is because next portion, when the Torah enumerates the Jewish people, it tells us the tribe of Levi, it tells us about Yocheved and Amram, and they had a child. But why wouldn't the Torah tell us in this portion when they had the child, who the child was, who the parents were, It doesn't make sense. And the Rebbe, in a remarkable talk, says like this, because the Torah wants to teach us something powerful. That every human being, every Jew, could have a child like Moses. You don't have to be Yocheved. You don't have to be Amram. If the Torah would have told us that it was Yocheved and Amram, we would say, oh, Yocheved, she was the daughter of Levi. Amram, you know where Amram came from? He was such a remarkable human being. Of course they gave birth to Moses. But me? Do I have a chance to have a child who's going to be righteous? Do I have a chance to give birth to a child who's going to change the world in a positive, significant way? Who's going to have an impact on those around him? Not necessarily. Comes along the Torah, and the Torah says, Vayelech ish mibeis Levi, a man from the house of Levi. It's irrelevant of who, because you know why? You and you and you and I could each have a child that's going to change the world. And that's why when you look at the world in that way, or as Maimonides tells us to look at the world as equally balanced, that every deed we do could change the world. When you see the power that you have, you could be Yocheved, you could be Amram, you could have a child like Moses. One of my favorite stories is about this rabbi from Australia who was a rabbi in a non-observant community. He was a Chabad rabbi, and he came to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe told him he should do a talk on family purity. And the guy said, the Rebbe says, this community is secular. They're not going to understand it. The Rebbe says, do it. He goes, he does it. And to his luck, he advertises this class on family purity, on Jewish law. One woman shows up. You know, we always say, if no one shows up, you could say 500 people came and you go home and you don't have to give the class. But if one woman showed up, you have to give the whole class and you can't even lie about it because somebody knows. He was dejected. Second class, third class, the whole course, one lady came. When he came to the Rebbe the next year from Australia, he didn't even write about it. He was so embarrassed. But as he comes into the Rebbe, to the audience, the Rebbe looks at him and the Rebbe says, tell me, how was the class? And embarrassingly, he looks at the Rebbe, he says, one woman showed up. And the Rebbe looks at him, the Rebbe said, and how many parents, how many mothers did Moshe Rabbeinu have? Implying to him that you think one woman came, so the class and the course was insignificant, but really, you don't know who that woman is and who's the child that she's going to have and what change that child can make on this world. Moshe Rabbeinu had one mother. And the Rebbe always quoted from the prophets, V'atam peluktu echad echad, that we have to touch each Jew one at a time. It's not about the masses. You have to impact each one. Because only through slow, methodical impact of each human being do you change the world. Think about what's going on in Israel. Think about the remarkable soldiers. Think about every human being and what they're able to accomplish. Never underestimate your power and your resolution. Never underestimate your power in your love and nurture of the child you gave birth to, because you don't know if they will be the Moses that changes the world, the Moses that splits the sea and brings the Jewish people to the land of Israel. Have a great day and a happy